Born in the shadowed alleys of Demacia's lesser quarters, Sylas of Dregbourne became a symbol of the city's hidden darkness. As a child, his gift for sensing sorcery drew the eye of the Mageseekers, but when he turned that same power against them, they cast him in chains. Years of captivity hardened him, and when he finally broke free, he emerged a vengeful revolutionary. Now, wielding the stolen magic of those around him, he tears through the kingdom he once sought to protect, and with each passing day, more outcast mages rally to his cause. Welcome, lore lovers, to another dive into League of Legends lore. Today, we unravel the tale of Sylas, the chained revolutionary whose journey from prisoner to rebellion leader shook the very foundations of Demacia. Betrayal, power and vengeance. His story is one of the most gripping in League of Legends, so sit back and let's uncover the rise of the Unshackled. Born into poverty in Demacia, Sylas of Dregbourne seemed fated for hardship. His parents, steadfast believers in the kingdom's ideals, saw his magic as a curse and urged him to surrender to the Mageseekers. Instead of imprisonment, they found a use for him. His rare ability to detect hidden sorcery made him a valuable tool in their hunt for mages. For the first time, Sylas felt a sense of purpose, a place within the kingdom he wished to serve. He carried out his duties with pride, though isolation weighed heavily on him, forbidden from forming bonds beyond his handlers. Yet, as he scoured Demacia for hidden magic, a troubling pattern emerged. Sorcery was not confined to the downtrodden. It flickered even among the highborn, those who condemned magic most fiercely. While the poor were punished, the elite remained untouched, protected by status and power. That hypocrisy was a splinter in his faith, the first crack in the foundation of his loyalty. Sylas's doubts came to a head on a fateful day in the countryside, where he and his handlers uncovered a mage in hiding. To his surprise, it was only a young girl. Pity stirred within him, and when he tried to shield her from the Mageseekers, his hand brushed against her skin. In that instant, raw magic surged through him, wild, untamed, and far deadlier than he ever imagined. Power erupted from his hands in uncontrollable bursts, and when the dust settled, three lay dead, including his mentor. Branded a murderer, Sylas fled, his name whispered in fear as one of Demacia's most dangerous mages. The Mageseekers hunted him without mercy, and when they finally captured him, there was no trial, no leniency. Still just a boy, he was sentenced to a lifetime in chains. Deep within the Mageseeker's stronghold, he languished in darkness, bound in heavy petricide shackles that stripped him of his magic, deprived of the one thing that had given him purpose. His heart hardened like the stone that bound him, and in that endless night of captivity, a single thought kept him alive. Vengeance. 15 long years passed before a flicker of light entered Sylas's cell. Luxana, a young illuminator, drawn by curiosity and kindness. Even through his shackles, Sylas could sense the immense magic she carried, and in time, a secretive bond formed between them. He taught her what he knew of controlling magic, while she became his window to the outside world, bringing him books and knowledge beyond his prison walls. With careful words and subtle manipulation, Sylas convinced Lux to smuggle him a forbidden tome, the writings of the legendary sculptor Durand, the very architect of Demacia's petricide defenses. As he pored over its pages, a revelation struck him. Petricide did not merely suppress magic, it absorbed it, and if magic was held within the stone, could it be unleashed? All he needed was a spark, a source of magic powerful enough to ignite the storm. A source like Lux. But Lux never returned. The Crown Guards, one of Demacia's most powerful families, had discovered her secret visits and were enraged that she had broken the law for a condemned criminal. No trial, no further punishment. Sylas's fate was sealed. His execution was arranged in silence. On the day of his sentencing, Lux pleaded desperately for his life, but her words fell on deaf ears. As the executioner stepped past her, sword raised, Sylas made his move. His hand brushed against Lux just as he had planned. Her magic surged into the petricide shackles, and in an instant he unleashed its raw power. Chains shattered, stone crumbled, and the execution ground erupted in chaos. Amid the wreckage, only one was spared, Lux, frozen in terror as Sylas walked away, no longer a prisoner but a living symbol of defiance. Now he moves through Demacia's shadows, gathering the lost, the exiled, the persecuted. A growing rebellion rises in his wake, all bound by a single purpose: to tear down the kingdom that cast them aside and shatter the chains that once bound them. Sorry for this short interruption, but if you are enjoying this dive into Sylas' story, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and allows me to bring you even more in-depth lore content. Your support keeps the stories alive, lore lovers. After the rebellion started, Geren and Jarvan IV still stood on the bad side of this story, fighting against the rebels to preserve the order and justice they thought or lied to themselves was right. Even though Geren knew about Lax's powers and Jarvan was in love with a freaking dragon lady full of magic, obviously, we are talking about Shyvana, but in the end, the story of the Mageseeker game came to fix this problem. We could see how Geren and Jarvan finally come to their senses and realize the stupidity with which the whole kingdom was ruled. Sylas, together with the mages he has gathered for this rebellion, started to strike every Mageseeker facility and defeated their leaders. He even fought Jarvan and Shyvana in an encounter when he almost finished them off. Morgana had her part in this rebellion too, helping Sylas to realize his important role not just as an avenger but as a protector. In the end, Sylas managed to successfully conclude his rebellion, finishing with Jarvan IV being the first king that finally unbans magic and the magic users and stops the cruel treatment of people that did nothing wrong but were punished for their innate talent. Sylas' story is one of rebellion, vengeance and shattered fate, but his journey has been shaped just as much by those he has encountered, friends, foes and uneasy allies alike. Taken as a child, Sylas was used by the Mageseekers to hand down his own kind. His gift turned into a weapon for Demacia's cause, but when he accidentally killed two of his handlers while trying to protect a young girl, he became the hunted. Captured and imprisoned for 15 long years, he suffered their cruelty, caged and starved like a beast. In their eyes, he was nothing more than a dangerous mistake, a mistake they failed to erase. Behind the cold prison walls, Sylas found an unlikely bond in Luxana Crownguard. She was young, kind, and brimming with magic she barely understood. Magic that was forbidden in Demacia. In exchange for glimpses of the outside world, he taught her to control her gifts. Yet, in the end, he used her. He turned her trust into his escape, stealing her power to break free. Despite this betrayal, fate would bring them together once more. When Lax's mage sanctuary came under attack, Sylas stood by her side, proving that even a man consumed by vengeance was not beyond redemption. From the moment Sylas broke his chains, he found himself at odds with Demacia's mightiest warrior, Geren Crownguard. Time and again, their blades clashed, Sylas besting him in each battle. Yet, Geren's strength lay not in skill alone, but in the unshakable force of Demacia's armies. Each time Sylas gained the upper hand, reinforcements forced his retreat, leaving their war unfinished. In the chaos of his escape, Sylas and his growing rebellion nearly executed Prince Jarvan IV. His true target had been the king, only to find that Jarvan III was already dead, his fate sealed behind closed doors. Whether by design or cruel coincidence, Sylas' moment of vengeance had been stolen from him. Seeking allies beyond Demacia's borders, Sylas turned to the Freljord, where he forged an alliance with the brutal warriors of the Winter's Claw. With their strength at his back, he brought war to Demacia's doorstep, proving that his revolution was far from over. During his attack on Demacia, Sylas came face to face with Galio, the living colossus designed to absorb magic. Though Lax had once spoken of Galio as if he were more than just a statue, Sylas had not questioned it, until the moment he saw the massive figure move. The very patricide that had once bound Sylas now stood against him, a towering guardian of Demacia's ideals. Among the many truths Sylas uncovered, few were as ancient as those surrounding the winged sisters, Kayle and Morgana. He called out their power in defiance, believing the veiled deity, Morgana's hidden identity, to be nothing more than an absent god, deaf to the prayers of the suffering. Yet, when he finally met Morgana, he saw something else in her, a force beyond the Demacian legends. He sought her aid in his war, but she saw the fire of vengeance burning too fiercely in his soul and refused him. Only when last humbled him did Morgana grant her blessing, marking a turning point in his relentless crusade. That was the legend of Sylas, the man who turned his chains into a weapon against Demacia. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share and subscribe to keep the lore flowing. And if you want to be part of a cozy community of lore lovers discussing all things League of Legends, join the Discord. The more, the merrier in our ever-growing world of stories. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the lore.